All right. And I guess I will say so in Discord as well. And okay. Let us begin our draft. I think everything here is as it should be. Let's see. Let's see what maps these guys want to go for here. Shoals, nice. And Immersion. Oh, this is going to be a banger set already, I can tell. If Hyper Random sneaks its way into this map draft, it's going to be 3 absolute amazing map drafts back to back to back for me. Surely if you pick Shoals and Immersion, you're going to pick Hyper Random, right? What maniac would allow these 2 maps as the first picks and then ban Hyper Random? See, I knew that was gonna. I was setting that up for comedic effect. I had a feeling that was gonna happen. I had a feeling. All right, Hamza ruins it. Takes out my darling little child, Hyper Random. Takes it out back with the shoddy. Chooses rune stones instead as well. Oh, jeez. What's this going to be? Akare? Or Sunburn? Okay. I like the draft, Muffin. I like it. Otter was searching for that Muffin. Is that what that is? It's hard to tell, but I'm going to assume that emote is a Muffin, Otter. No Akare, no Serengeti, so it is Outcrop. Will Hamza make a dock on Immersion? Well, we'll see. We'll see what the civs are, I suppose. We're going to need some good water civs to make it through here if we're hoping for big dock play. Okay, the delay has lessened some from Otter. That's good to see. Let's see. We're hoping for Spanish, Chinese, and maybe Turks to make it through this draft. So far, so good. Okay, Turks. No Malians. No Berbers either for Immersion is a big one. Ooh, no Chinese. This is a crazy admin ban, actually. Series of admin bans. No Tatars. No Wu. I don't know if that matters. No Franks, no Koreans, no Turks, Malians, Berbers, Bulgarians, Teutons, Chinese, Japanese. Did I check Fool's Garden? No, I did not. I'm way behind on my Fool's Garden. Oh, I see. I see what you're saying. Hey, you gotta get some hype in there. You can't just say, you can't call someone dead before the game starts, Otter. Can I do this? Yeah. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? It could have been a great map for the Koreans, Otter. I swear, it could have been. Alright. Double Spanish, Slavs, and Persians. Muffin gets the Huns. So Spanish makes a ton of sense, obviously. Because every other good water civ was banned out by the admins. So that had to happen. I probably snipe both of the Spanish as well, but we'll see what happens here. Magyars, Goths. Top 4 pick Goths for Hamza. Okay. That could be an immersion civ. That could be a dockless immersion civ right there, the Goths. Absolutely. Byzantines are still out there, but I'm not sure if they're worth picking anymore. Mongols is pretty good. Mongols is quite good with this map draft, I think. They feel really good on pretty much all these maps. I think probably not Sunburn, but the rest. I could see Mongols being viable. Probably not Shoals either, but Mongols have a surprisingly good dock. So maybe you could try to sneak them in on Shoals. Sicilians and Bengalis. Okay. Goths and Sicilians drafted before the Bengalis. Okay. Bengalis aren't as good, I guess, as at the higher levels, but I still think they're quite good. Gurjaras. Gurjaras. Where are we playing the Gurjaras in this map pool? Outcrop, but I think Magyars. I don't know. Cumans, okay. That's a pretty good value pick. And Khmer. Khmer's fine. I think for that low down in the draft. And Dravidians! Let's go, Hamza. Alright. I think you have to double snipe Spanish. I wouldn't hate, like, sniping the Slavs. But I think it should be double Spanish, because otherwise you're kind of just giving up on the water map, right? On Shoals, yeah. Alright. It's kind of that weird situation where both players have to draft Spanish and snipe it, so it's kind of like a wasted pick on both sides, but you just have to do it. StrikeMuffin with the classic I don't own the DLC bans here, by the way. Alright. What draft? I mean, what draft do we prefer here? I don't love the Goths. I really don't like the Gurjaras. I'm gonna be honest. The Gurjaras get mollywopped every time I see them picked in 1v1s. Dravidians are like, you know, memes aside, Dravidians are okay, but I think at the top level they're not that good probably. I think I like StrikeMuffins a lot more, I'm gonna be honest. Khmer's iffy, but Sicilians and Cumans can both be quite good situationally. I love these top 3 picks here. Slavs are great, Magyars are really good, but I don't know, the last 4 picks here from Hamza feel a little bit weaker to me than the draft here by Muffin. It's a very late Bengali. It is. It's really good value. but like if the Bengalis had been like up here and the Goths were down here, I think I prefer Huns and Mongols. I don't know. It's close. It's close. Otter, you said Gurjar. Your immersion comment is Gurjaras are for immersion. Is that true? I feel like Goths are for immersion, for sure. Are they not? Where else are you picking Goths? Sunburn, I guess you could go Goths. Maybe it is Sunburn for Goths. Now that I say that, can Goths compete with Huns on Sunburn? Though is the question. Gurjaras probably feel better against the Huns. In a vacuum, right? See, I think that's more of my prediction. Gurjaras versus Huns on Sunburn. It's like Goths versus Persians, I guess, for shoals. Or sorry, not for shoals. For immersion. Goths versus maybe Mongols, maybe Persians, maybe Sicilians. Can you get away with Sicilians on immersion? It's probably Persians on shoals. Now that I say that. What civ is Hamza going on shoals? Is that Bengalis? I guess. They have a good dock. Don't remember if Bengalis... Do Bengalis get treadmill crane? Goths for shoals? Oof. I don't know about that one, man. But alright, maybe. Maybe. Alright, let me... get these Rex out here. Perfect, they're named amazingly. Baskets! Thank you for the raid. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. How is it going? I hope your stream went well, Baskets. Enjoy my stream. I certainly will. We are casting some Tarnished Deathmatch, so some Deathmatch gaming here. This is quite high level as well, Division 3, so that's top like 15-ish players in the world probably. We lost all our elo. It was a disaster. Nice. That happens. That just means, I always say, if you ever have one of those sessions, it just means you're going to win all of your games the next time, right? Every loss becomes a win eventually. Top 22? Okay. Alright. I was trying to oversell it a little bit, Otter, for the Raiders. Jeez. We gotta get some hype stoked in here for the new audience, but alright. So we're starting out on Outcrop, which, to be honest, this could also be a Bengali map. I didn't consider that, but probably Slavs. I'll predict. We like predictions here. I'm predicting Slavs and Mongols, I guess. This could be Magyars as well. But Hamza is notoriously impossible for me to understand or predict, so it could easily not be that. Let's jump in. And yep, I certainly cannot predict. Hamza's top 1 in craziness. True. Alright, let's jump in. Welcome in Game 1. Hamza versus StrikeMuffin here. TDM 6. We're starting out on Outcrop. It is the Bengalis for Hamza here, indeed. And it's the Persians for StrikeMuffin, which would not have been my guess. But Persians are good here, don't get me wrong. But I think I would have picked them elsewhere. But alright. So, let's see what damage can be done here. It's a clump start here for StrikeMuffin, interesting, against the Bengalis, who are probably going elephants here, and indeed they are. I wouldn't have expected quite such a defensive opening here, but does prevent any villagers from going down. And on the backside, villager getting blocked by elephants, but now the Hussar is being blocked by elephants, so neither player gets any villager kills. Elephants are going to start trundling across the field. Siege Workshop's in the middle of the map. Hamza is... Well, actually, both... What is... StrikeMuffin is giga housed because he's just making castles. Full castle production here for StrikeMuffin. So it's going to be War Elephants for Muffin. Full War Elephants out of 6 castles. I didn't... Yeah, alright. I mean, sure. If your opponents are going elephants, you may as well just out-elephant them. What is this, Hamza? The Siege Workshop spread is nuts right now for Hamza. Taking, I guess this counts as side control. Bengalis do get Heavy Scorpion, full upgrade, so it's going to be Battle Elephant, Heavy Scorpion mass here from the Bengalis. And it's just full elephant for Muffin, I guess, right? Alright, we're getting some Siege Workshops down now, but the Battle Elephants are already here. And is this too late? It is Citadels, which helps out a little bit. Makes these castles a little bit stronger, but that's going to be 2 dead villagers on both, one on each side there for StrikeMuffin. TCs are abandoned, farms are as well. Elephant archers are also forward, so they can try and start sniping some vills, but for now they're just sitting on all these farms. There we go. Snipe those farms. F those farms, man. We don't need them around here. Boom. Poke them. Poke them down. Bang. 60 wood gone. Boom. And again. Alright, the elephants are congregating. Heavily congregating here for Hamza. They are getting ready. In the middle of the map. Another villager goes down there for StrikeMuffin. So it is 4-1 Eco KD in Hamza's favor. Here come these beefy boys, though. Killing some village... The forward Siege Workshops are a little bit nuts, I think, from Hamza. Alright, let's see. How do the Scorpions do against these War Elephants? The Persian War Elephants are, I believe, the singular strongest unit in the game. They do also kind of double as siege units, so you don't even really need that many siege pieces behind them. They just kind of do a lot of damage to buildings anyway. StrikeMuffin thinks better of that push initially, though. He's got 50 elite War Elephants on the field. If you like elephants, this is the game for you, I'll tell you what. It's very much a centralized economy for StrikeMuffin. I guess we can call it an economy. There's only 19 villagers. All of that food has been going into elephants. What a game. Honestly, what a game. We're going to have a huge fight, and that's probably going to be the end of the game. My prediction for this match is that they're going to pop up to like 200 population, and then they're going to have one big fight, and that's the end of the game. Yeah, you got snipe those farms, man. That was like 500 wood that Hamza lamed off of Muffin on these farms back here. Still trying to go for the forward Siege Workshops as Hamza, but probably not going to happen here. Got some elephants in the north. Like I said, these do kind of counter as siege units. I don't know if these 3 will take out the castle, but they are pulling the army really out of position. Maybe it's not out of position. Alright, this is it. Charge of the Chonkers. Who wins? Get your bets in now. Bengali double elephant or Persian full war elephant. The Scorpions are behind this, doing a lot of damage. But the War Elephants do get some trample damage. The War Elephants are kind of annihilating the Battle Elephants, it's gotta be said. The Scorpions don't really feel that good. I thought they'd be a little bit better than this. There's more Scorpions behind. The Elephant Archers are taking a lot of AoE damage from the Elephants, though. Military numbers suddenly not looking so good for Hamza. There's a lot of Rams down here as well, taking out castles and the forward siege workshops. StrikeMuffin wins the fight quite handily, but is there enough to continue? I guess there is. Hamza calls the GG, and what did I say? There'd be one big fight, and whoever wins the fight wins the game. There we go. Biggest fight of 2025? True. I think that is objectively true. Skillsu, thank you for the subscription. 15 months, by the way, Skillsu has been subscribed. That dates back that's like multiple years worth of streaming for me. It's 15 months, so I really appreciate that, Skillsu. Thank you so much. What a game. What more could you ask for? That's all I'm gonna say. What more could you ever want from an Outcrop game? Alright. That was a great game one. Thank you, Skillsu. Welcome in. Glad to have you, as always. A game a game has been scheduled for Christmas Eve, 19 GMT, huh? Unfortunately, I don't think I can catch that one. Let's see, that was Persians beating the Bengalis on Outcrop, and that was Blue or Muffin taking that game. Alright. Hamza didn't have enough knowledge. True. He still goes by Hamza in the draft here, so needs to fully embrace the knowledge and realize that Persian war elephants are, in fact, really good. Alright. Game 2 is going to be on Immersion. So, oh boy, I said Goths for Hamza. I still think it's Goths. What does Muffin go for here on Immersion? Sicilians kind of hard counter the Goths if you can get going fast enough, but that might play into... I mean, most of these things beat the Goths long term, right? So do you instead pick something that can... But I mean, Sicilians can survive though, right? They kind of clump up with their dungeons and whatnot. I honestly have no idea what civ I pick here if I'm Muffin. I might go Sicilians, maybe Khmer, maybe you just fight fire with fire and go Cumans. I have no idea. All I know is Hamza goes Goths here. That's my only thing I'm sure of. Okay, well, it was none of those. for Muffin, it was none of those. All right, let's get into it. All right, welcome in Game 2, Hamza versus StrikeMuffin. We're here on Immersion. It is indeed the Goths for Hamza. It's the Mongols for StrikeMuffin. So that was not any of those civs I just mentioned. In fact, I think this could be really good for Hamza, but I suppose Muffin's just going to go for the same thing, right? Clump with the castles. Greed it out with the Mongols here. Long term, should be a much better civ against the Goths. This does mean you are giving up total water control, though. The Goths don't have a bad dock, per se. They actually have a surprisingly good dock. I always forget how good their dock is. Here come the Huskarls. probably not going to find really any damage. I don't think they should. I guess they'll kill this Hussar. And, I don't know. That's pretty much it for now. A couple camels. Camels. Okay. Okay, Maltar also says camels, so I'm glad I'm not missing something important. He actually deletes the camels. He deletes the camels. So I guess he's also realized that maybe they're not going to be the most valuable unit in this particular situation. It's going to be Mangudai. Step Lancers wouldn't be terrible here. Oh, nice SO shot, though. If you were going to go for cavalry, I think it's probably Step Lancer here with the Mongols, if it's anything, but not really sure you need it. Huskarls get dusted by the Siege Onagers. Like I said, good map control. He's got Dramens in the middle already, does Hamza. He's got Dramens on the left. Dramens on the right. He's got docks in the back of Muffin's base. He's got docks up where Muffin is trying to go for super safe docks. So that's not going to be a welcome sight for Muffin. But... well, come on. I guess Muffin was just assuming that Hamza was not going to go for any docks whatsoever, but Hamza has gone for the docks. So not going to be able to get the docks up there. Dramen's coming out round the back. It is demo ships coming out for Muffin. And some Hussar come over to clear up that villager. Dramen's clear up that vill, though. Huskarl. This is the danger zone now, right? You can't stay in your clump forever if you're StrikeMuffin. You do actually have to expand eventually. I don't know about throwing all these Huskarl into the castles and siege onagers, but I guess they're pretty cheap as far as units go. Yeah, Muffin is realizing there's nowhere left to dock, right? Hamza's in every single water source on the map, including the outside. Though maybe Muffin's able to win the outside at least. That could be good. Full map control for Hamza, which is to be expected. This TC is in the danger zone of the Dramens, also the Mangudai. Have to be a little bit careful here. Dramens don't do a ton of damage per shot, but they're kind of like a Mangonel or I guess a Scorpion is a better analogy, because they do a lot of pass-through damage, a lot of AoE, so eventually they kill land units quite effectively, actually. Castle goes down, though. It's Ram Train with the Mangudai. Do the Goths have any answer for this? Technically, full Huskarl might be able to overwhelm this with their Pierce armor, but let's see. Yeah, I think this is fine, actually. It's a lot of damage. The Rams are doing a lot of damage. I'd maybe like it if these Huskarl came over. Okay, there we go. Muffin has to back up. Oof! Dramen's hitting our own units a little bit here. I mean, it's not a terrible matchup for the Goths here, right? Mangudai Hussar doesn't feel that bad. Hamza is out of gold, but so is StrikeMuffin. This is really not how to play Mongols versus Goths. No, I don't think it is. It doesn't feel great. Is it just full Step Lancers? Normally I don't advocate for full Step Lancer in any situation, but it might be the way here, right? What else? I guess you can go your own infantry also. Mongol Champion doesn't see play that often, but... Steps opening after Scorp. After Scorp and Onagers. Okay. So just full siege. Okay. Well, Clearing up the right-hand side here, but is getting raided on the left-hand side. Missed a bit of a demo on the shoreline. So Steppe Lancer opening, and then full siege. Okay. Mongols can go full siege. It's basically like Mongols and Celts can kind of get away with full siege. That does make some sort of sense. TCs going down to the Huskarl. By siege, we don't mean the Rams, though, right? Siege, we're thinking Scorpions and SO, ideally. Drahman's getting good shots in. Can't take a fight against the Hussar, though, as weird as that sounds. Drahmans are incredibly squishy. So the Hussars do pretty good there. Huskarls arrive, though. Don't get nuked out. TC went down in the back. And the Huskarls cleared up. Big clear up on the Mangudai. We're not being microed against the Huskarl. Getting a little spooky, I'm going to be honest. Still pretty good map control for Hamza. Is going to lose this pond. Man, I'd love to see a demo out of this guy. TC expansion is necessary for StrikeMuffin here because gold is probably going to be an issue pretty soon for Muffin. I guess he's got this somewhat well locked down at least, so he's alright for the time being, but can't really take any of this with all these Drahmans. More Huskarl. Okay, maybe Muffin can settle down here a little bit now. Siege Onager is in queue. He's rather radically housed. Is getting houses up, but a little bit of a production delay here for Muffin. Still clearing up Drahmans with the Hussar. Well, what do we think? Who's in a better position right here? Hamza was overwhelming for a while there. Still has 2-to-1 economy on the field. 66 villagers for Muffin. It is 114, now 120 for Hamza. This is really good damage by this one Hussar. Long term, the Mongols should still feel way better. They should still have way better options. If you can get into a ball of like good amount of siege, like you've got the Hussar to raid with, which is easier than what the Goths have. But man, it's been tough going. Monk goes down trying to yoink a relic. This expansion is not going to happen for Hamza. The classic Hamza siege workshops on the sides, not going to happen this go around. And as much as I like the map control from Hamza and the pond control, I'm not sure how much it matters in this new version of Immersion. Like, what does this realistically cover? It's like these 2 wood lines, right? That's it. So if this becomes a wood game, the ponds become very important, but until we reach that point, I'm not sure how much it matters. Really got to babysit the Mangudai, though. I wouldn't mind just, like, not making Mangudai until Hamza is on something besides full Huskarl. We've got Fish Boom by Hamza on the outside. Massive. Has Hamza created a single unit on land that was not Huskarl this game? I don't think so, right? So it feels pretty bad that StrikeMuffin's probably made about 100 Mangudai by now, when they just don't do well against the only unit being made. These raids are really nice. The Mangudai just don't kill the Huskarl, man. The Huskarl do not care about these arrows flying into their backs. I think Muffin might just be dead. Down to 70 villagers. Expansion over here has been denied. Raids are devastating in the middle. Was raided heavily over on this side earlier. So where's the eco here for Muffin? It's like here, dying, and like kind of here. Huskarls don't care about the TCs either, even if Muffin was able to notice. There we go. So they'll still hang out here and kill a bunch of stuff, even with the TCs firing on them. TC denied over here. I think Goth's OP is maybe the what I'm going to have to say pretty soon here, because I think the Mongols just got rolled. Castle here as well to deny this area long term. 52 villagers for StrikeMuffin. Nothing in the queue whatsoever. And he queues up Rams. Why are we going Rams? We need to kill the Huskarl, bro. Rams will not kill... The Huskarl do not care. They're ripping down the castle. They're ripping down the TCs. They're killing all the villagers. Ram push on the left, but there's Huskarl over here too. There's 81 Huskarl. There's 52 in queue, so they can be everywhere at once. And StrikeMuffin gets demolished by Hamza's Goths on immersion. Whew. What a game, man. Another great game. Yeah, Mongols kind of have to, I think... I mean, Steppe Lancers would do great, right? While it's just Huskarl. You can go Mongol champion, which feels bad, but basically anything but Mangadai I think would have done way better here for the Mongols, right? And then, yeah, if you're able to get enough Scorpions and maybe SO on the field, that can do really good against the Goth Swarm, but man. All right. We've got a set on our hands here, folks. We don't like sweeps around here. We're not getting one today. Both teams are on the board. The Goths take a win over the Mongols, and Hamza takes the home map. Immersion. No step brothers or sisters. True. All right. This is going to be a good series. I can feel it. All right, it's going to be Sunburn next for game 3. So it's a very aggro map. It's going to have to be Huns for StrikeMuffin. I guess you could go Kumans here. Actually, he's got both of the super fast rushy civs. This is probably Gurjara's for Hamza. I don't think you're ever going to feel better as the Gurjaras compared to going up against the Huns or the Kumans. That just feels really good, I think. You could go Slavs here, but I think Slavs are for runestones. Or for... Man, what does Hamza do for shoals now? Dravidians? Maybe Gurjaras are for shoals, and this is going to be Slavs. And then you have Magyars for runestones. That doesn't feel that bad. Gurjaras doesn't feel great for shoals, but I don't think any of these civs really feel that great for shoals anymore for Hamza. Muffin should go Huns here. And then I guess Sicilians for shoals. And then Kumans for runestones. I think that's what I'm anticipating. I think Hamza will go Gurjaras here, I think. But I could see an argument for it to be something else, to be honest. Let's find out. That was the first Goths win this season. They're now 1-4. Nice. Huge. Muffin says had no plan for that map other than ignore water. we noticed that a little bit here, yeah. Welcome in. Game 3. We're all tied up here. We are on Sunburn. It is indeed the Gurjaras versus the Huns. Finally, I have a I correctly predict both civs, finally. Let's see. I am famously critical of the Gurjaras. We'll see if they can survive against the Hun rush here. It's a decent opening for Hamza with the camel. Delays a couple of these production buildings nicely. Forces the quick walls. Long term, the Gurjaras kind of counter the Huns. Gurjaras can kind of just go straight up camel, and it counters most of what the Huns want to make. It forces them into like Halb. That's a nice villager snipe. But obviously the Huns, they want to get damage in early. Paladin coming forward. That's going to be 1 dead villager. Really should be 2. Paladin are really playing Ring Around the Rosie here on this stable. So it's only 1. 4-1 Eco KD in Hamza's favor. So you're anticipating the Huns being the one with the early pressure, but it's actually been Hamza with the Gurjaras getting that early damage in. It's Elephant Archers behind. The Huns really do not have good answers to the Elephant Archers. They don't even get Onager, right? Is that true? They just get Mangonels? That can't be true, is it? I didn't think anyone only got Mangonels. Apparently I'm still too RM brained, I guess. Is that true? Gurjaras are faster. Apparently they are. Elephant Archers are here. They can snipe through the walls. So that's why I think Muffin's just dead. Much to my dismay, the Gurjaras actually just destroyed here. Actually, this is the best Civ matchup that the Gurjaras could hope for. Like I said, there's not really anything the Huns can do here. One last fight, and I think this game's over. So Hamza does bring the knowledge on Sunburn, maybe. A little bit of a... realizes this maybe obvious Civ that StrikeMuffin wants to use, and kind of a hardcore counter. Gurjara's OP? Alright. We saw the Dravidians win earlier, so I guess we can even it out by seeing the Gurjaras win now. That's alright. People tried to counter Huns with Malians and failed every time. That's true. I mean, Gurjaras is a way better matchup, right? Literally, the Huns do not have an answer for Elephant Archers, right? They have literally nothing. They get regular Scorpions with no Siege Engineers. I guess they just get Mangonels, which seems insane to me. Genuinely, I did not think that was a thing. So, they don't have a single unit that can deal with Elephant Archers. They have nothing. Alright. Hamza takes a quick lead here. I spent more time predicting the civs than that game lasted. And StrikeMuffin is running out of these top-picked civs. Hamza winning with these civs that I was questioning, of course, as the draft came in. I was like, I don't know about Gots and Gurjaras, and now he's won with both of them. Jeez. This is gonna get spicy for StrikeMuffin. This is gonna get real spicy. Slavs and Magyars are still available for Hamza. StrikeMuffin has to somehow get wins with the Sicilians, Cumans, and Khmer. Alright. That was a loss on Sunburn. It's gonna be spicy. Malians still also counter the Huns. They should on paper, but On Sunburn, I think it's just the Huns are too fast, maybe. I don't know. I don't think the Malians have countered anyone in this tournament so far. Rams plus Halbs, but it doesn't work if they have Chakrams, yeah. I will say, I'm a big fan of Chakrams. I'm a big hater of the Gurjaras, but I'm a big fan of Chakrams. I think in a like ideal composition, the Gurjaras actually have a really good composition with between amazing camels, the Chakrams that I think are underrated, and they have good utility with like the Shravamsha and stuff, right? So Champ Scarls are great versus Huns. True. I always see them go camel opening against the Huns on Sunburn. But maybe just champion opening is better. Dude, that's bad against Paladin though, is it not? I guess you also have camels. Or do Champ Scarls just do okay against Paladin? Both? Okay. Okay. That makes sense to me. Alright, we're moving on to Shoals. I have no idea what civs these players are going to choose for Shoals. I have absolutely no idea. I guess I'd say Sicilians for Muffin. And then Hamza. Is it ever Dravidians here? Is Hamza so much of a gamer that he would pick Dravidians and not pick Magyars or Slavs at some point? His top 2 picks? Is there ever a world that Hamza is such an incredible gamer to pick Dravidians here? I will say, well, maybe Dravidians hard counter the Sicilians. Is that ever the case? I'm so hardwired to say that Sicilians just destroy infantry civs, but Dravidians would counter the armor, right? I'm gonna say Sicilians versus Dravidians because I'm hopeful that we see that matchup. And I'd really like to see Dravidians win a game to cleanse my palate of that Gurjara stomp. Dravidians counter everything? True! Actually true. Alright, let's see what it is. Yes! Alright, let's go. Game 4, Hamza versus StrikeMuffin. I am hyped for this one. We are on Shoals, which is already a great map, and what a civ matchup we have here. It is the Dravidians for Hamza up against the Sicilians for StrikeMuffin. I'm not liking the amount of the dock disparity here. This one is going to be denied too. Alright, well, if Hamza gets stomped here, it's not due to any fault of the Dravidians. It's just because the dock was denied, and there's no docks coming up behind it. I'm already getting my excuses in the way. Alright. StrikeMuffin's going to try and do passes here to really delay the docks as long as possible. It's already 10 docks placed down for StrikeMuffin. Going to be 3 docks complete here before Hamza's even able to start on his dock. Here does come up a dock, though. Alright, I'm actually going to have to look at... I think the Sicilian dock is not terrible. Yeah, they only get regular cannon galleon, but otherwise they have a really good dock. Dravidians have a full dock. Obviously, this is the issue, though, is Hamza was so delayed to get these docks out. Neither civ gets treadmill crane, so actually should not be behind super far straight up, but just really good job by StrikeMuffin to snipe that villager early on. Hamza also just was not investing in the docks as much. He had 1 villager coming out for 1 dock, whereas StrikeMuffin had 10 docks placed down basically immediately. So, alright. Water's not going so good for the Dravidians here, but it's going to be Elephant Archers behind. Also, Halbs are on the field. I don't love Halb here, but I guess we need something that doesn't cost gold, right? Because elephants are expensive and navy is expensive. Building the castle in range of the demos is a huge mistake, I think, from Hamza. He's had 2 castles demoed down now, which should not happen. Really should not happen. You gotta at least make the Sicilians make those bad cannon galleons, right? You can't just let them go to full demo. Alright, this castle's a little bit further behind. And, well, how else are we looking here? Finally did deny some docks up here, did Hamza, as StrikeMuffin's going to start expanding with a ton of barracks. More demos. A lot more demos. Galleons. Regular galleons. I mean, they're, you know, fully upgraded galleons, but, like, I don't love galleons generally, but I suppose Muffin has won water so hard that he can now just snipe these vills like that. Oh, Hamza, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Dravidians should be fine on water against the Sicilians, right? They should just be straight up better. The Sicilians don't have any advantage on water, do they? Over the Dravidians on water? This was just a terrible opening for that play to happen. Right? There's no bonus here. No. So, Dravidians should just be better. Sicilians get to water, Dravidians don't? But why? Because of what? Oh, castles? But I guess, yeah, okay. I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to think about that a little bit more. It's not like StrikeMuffin protected his docks. He just got the docks up, and Hamza didn't deny them. Well, Hamza plays on. I do still think Dravidians should actually feel decent against the Sicilians on land. The issue is going to be the Sicilian SO, if it ever hits the field. But we currently don't have any SO in the queue or anything. In fact, I don't think there's even siege workshops down for StrikeMuffin. No, not a single siege workshop yet. Okay, they're coming up here now. Usually, sergeants beat everything on land. I think the only melee unit sergeants lose to besides elephants is like samurai, maybe? But I think that's quite close as well. However, Dravidians do kind of hard counter that with their own infantry. If Hamza was making his own infantry, the elephants will do alright too, but that's boring. We don't want to see elephant archers killing sergeants. We want to see, like, whippy boys killing sergeants, right? This is boring. This is easy and boring. We don't want to see this. We want to see Woot Steel champions and whippy boys fighting sergeants. That's what I wanted to see coming into this Civ matchup. The elephants do fine. Okay, Halbs. Come on, you can reach. You're telling me you can't reach that? Come on, man, and stick your Halb out. Alright, fine. Their arms are too short, man. Trub War, but the elephants don't really care about the donjons that much, so they're just going to hang out here and kill the trebuchets anyway. Elephants on the right-hand side as well. StrikeMuffin's done the Sicilian thing. This is why I liked Sicilians on this map. You can just kind of spam out these donjons. Takes pretty good control over the side golds, which is important. Muffin is going to work away at everything the cannon galleons can reach on land. Ah, Hamza. He gives up, man. Jeez. Man, all right. I had much higher hopes for that Civ matchup than that game. Oh well. Sergeants and Post Imp are subpar unique unit if they couldn't build. They're easily countered. They are easily countered. They do very well against specific units, but if you have like a ranged unit of any kind, then they kind of suck, yeah. It is what it is. All right, well, oh well. I thought maybe we had a top game brewing there, but okay. We are all tied up, which is hype in and of itself. Dravidians do lose to the Sicilians on Shoals, which is a win. And now, how in the world is StrikeMuffin gonna win on Runestones? StrikeMuffin has the Khmer and the Cumans. He has to find a way to beat probably the Slavs, but maybe the Magyars? I think this has to be Slavs, right? The Slavs kind of dumpster the Khmer, I think. And they should feel pretty good against the Cumans as well. Again, as long as they can survive the Cuman rush. Against what unit do they do well? Champions and infantry of any kind, really. Camels, Hussar. They don't trade that badly against Paladin if they don't have bonuses to the Paladin. Sergeants are they're much stronger than you think they're going to be in melee. Most other infantry unique units beat sergeants. I don't think that's the case. What other infantry unique units are there besides Whippy Boys and Samurai? Teutonic Knights, I guess. What else is there? Berserker? Do Berserker beat sergeants? Jaguars? New Jaguars probably do, actually. Woads don't. Kamayuks? In high enough numbers, Kamayuks probably do, yeah. O-Books win? Do they? I guess they strip the armor away long term, right? Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. Perhaps you're correct. If there's no micro, I don't think the Kamayuks do win. But if you're microing them around with like the range and whatnot, maybe. Maybe you're right. Maybe this is my RM brain again. Because you so rarely see so many of those units we just mentioned that maybe I have a better thought of the sergeants than they do. All right. Let's see what these guys have planned for Game 5. My guess is Cumans versus Slavs, but do you ever go Magyars here as Hamza? Let's see. Hamza does some interesting things for sure, so let's see. I think I would go Slavs. Alright, well. This is why I'm not Hamza. Welcome in Game 5, Decider game. We've hit back-to-back Decider Game 5s. We like to see that. Hamza versus StrikeMuffin. We are here on Runestones. Very, very close Runestones, by the way. It is the Magyars for Hamza, and it is the Cumans for StrikeMuffin. Is this better for the Cumans than if they had gone up against the Slavs? It's still probably not good, right? Well, actually, maybe it's not that bad. Cumans do get SO. They don't get Siege Engineers, but they do get SO. Let's see. We have to start off with the rush, right? So 1-1 on Villager Katie so far. Hamza should try to go for little clumps in here. He's got villagers pretty far away, though. Goes for the quick walls instead. There are two different ways to play the Cumans. One is to go full committal, all-in push, because you can outpop your opponent super easily. The other one is to start out with some Step Lancers, try to get early damage, but then settle into a more, like, standard composition. We've got 100 Step Lancers in the queue, so that might clue us off that StrikeMuffin wants to go for the former strategy more than the latter. Siege Workshops and Castle up behind this for StrikeMuffin, so Step Lancer SO, I guess, to deal with the infantry and the cav archers, which will become impossible for the Step Lancers to deal with at a certain point. But yeah, you're letting your opponent get castles up, which is not ideal. Let's see, here they come. How many we got in here? 44 Step Lancers rolling in for StrikeMuffin. If you can poke down the Halb, you actually might be able to come over here and poke this villager through the wall as well. This villager dies. If the TC goes down and all of your villagers die, you're out of the game, right? Hamza maybe built the castles too far away. The TC will go down. 2 castles complete. But how many villagers does Hamza have left at the end of this? There's only 6. And some are still just kind of wandering around here. So that's going to be 5. Where are the other villagers? 4? Oh, they're all here! There's 1 vill left? Oh no! Wait a minute. Hamza might be dead. He's gonna try and get a TC down. Where's the range behind this? We've got some Kipchaks coming, some SO. If this villager dies, Hamza's dead. But Muffin is losing the unit mass. Ooh. Low Legion, thank you for the raid. I appreciate that so much. You have come in at a very high-octane moment at the tail end of this series here. Hamza is 1 villager gaming, trying to get this TC up. The army composition should be quite good for Hamza here with the Cav Archers and the Halb and the Magyar Hussar. It should do quite well against the military that StrikeMuffin has on the field, but it's not going to matter if he loses his last villager. Trebuchet taking this castle out. Halb's weighed in a little bit. Military numbers are equal, as Muffin now is switching into Paladin and Kipchak, but there's no gold left for Muffin, so this isn't yet lost. If StrikeMuffin loses this army, it is maybe possible. I mean, it's still only 17 villagers behind this for StrikeMuffin, right? So it's not like he's got a boom going. TC does complete, but the Step Lancers are coming in again. There's only 1 vill alive. I don't think they take this one out, do they? No, not yet, not yet. Could still happen, though. The castle falls to the trebuchets behind. Imagine the 1 vill comeback. I'm imagining so hard right now. I'm imagining the 1 vill comeback in Game 5 so hard right now. You have no idea. It's now 3 villagers. Kipchaks, actually, they should not be putting in work here, but they are actually kind of putting in work. SO gets a good shot. Paladin roll in. Where are these guys going? We cannot afford to throw away Cav Archers here for Hamza. I don't know why they ran in there. There's no SO, though. No SO, though. Tongue twister. Trebs are starting to go down, but they are going to kill another castle. The Rams are coming in for the TC. So Hamza's going to be no TC gaming here again shortly. He's also giga housed because of all of the castles going down. He's hunting. He's hunting for these villagers, man. There's only 6 of them. There are only 6 villagers for Hamza. He's got no TCs. he tries for another TC here. Kipchaks all die. Full map control for Muffin behind this. There should not be a way for Hamza to come back into this game from here. It's now 44 villagers for Muffin. Still no TC for Hamza. I think he did enough damage. Oh boy. Oh jeez. It is true though. There's no military left for a Muffin, right? 54 villagers, but they're not really... They're starting to get the farms down now, but the resources are really bad. There's no way though, right? 6 villagers, 1 TC now for Hamza. He does still have decent resources, I suppose. Getting castles up. Okay, Nat is saying that Sergeant's indeed dumpster Kamayokes. So, there you go, Otter. Nat is our local stats man, so if he says something, I believe him. Alright, we're in the calm stage of this game now. We went through the crazy opening. We've reached the calm stage, briefly. StrikeMuffin is going to be preparing for a ram push. Hamza needs to not lose all of his helps to this castle. There we go. There's not that many Magyar Hussar on the field either, which would be what I would like to see here, but there's only so many resources left for Hamza, right? So he might need to put that into eco rather than going heavy into Magyar Hussar. I'm not sure. This castle will go down for Muffin, but it's 85 villagers to 10. Still no wood for StrikeMuffin. There's literally no wood. Nothing on wood. No wood. He's building archery ranges. Archery ranges is the Kumans. Against the Magyars. I don't like that. I don't think there's anything you can make out of an archery range that I would like here for StrikeMuffin. I'm going to be honest. I think this wood could be better spent. It's weird to be saying we really need this, like, 2k wood, but we really need that 2k wood for Muffin. Step Lancers come in at just the right time. They snipe a bunch of villagers from Hamza on this castle. Really nice job. That was like half of his eco. He does have 2 TCs back here. He doesn't have any wood access, actually. This is the only wood line available to Hamza. Muffin is even yoinking the relic from this back corner. Absolutely gaming out of his mind. Trebs take out another castle, though. But here comes the ram push. The army left for Hamza, and the army has arrived for StrikeMuffin. There are a lot of halbs here. I think you just wade in with the halbs, right? What's in here? Some halbs of Muffin's own? I think the halbs just solo this whole fight, don't they, for Hamza? If he engages. They're looking for the TCs. They know Hamza's eco is not good. Every TC that goes down really sets back the villager count long term. And yeah, with the Cav Archers behind especially, the Kipchaks are not going to do so well. Rams go down to the halbs, I think, before this castle goes down. Maybe not. It's going to be close. This ram isn't actually attacking the castle, though, which helps. Yeah, the castle stays up for now. Still, I mean, the fights are really good for Hamza, but I think the eco is just so much better for StrikeMuffin. For now. We've lost a lot of villagers. This Magyar Hussar raid is actually putting in work. I don't think Muffin has realized this is happening yet. He's lost like 30 villagers to this? He's down to 65 villagers. There's no way. I still refuse to believe Hamza has a chance in this game. Right? There's 50 Paladin on the field now. StrikeMuffin's down to 50 villagers. Hamza is out of res, though. He's completely out of resources, but he's got 65 Cav Archers on the field, and quite a few Trebuchets if he wants to push. Muffin losing more villagers here. Not noticing this is happening, I guess. He's back down to 50 again. Paladin roll through. He's trying to find Hamza's eco, if there is one. And it's all over here right now. Okay, he has found it on this side. Cav Archer Mass arrives to deal with this army. That's not going to be a good fight for Muffin. Yeah, that Relic Heist was crazy, actually. It's 5-0 relics, and one of the relics was back here that StrikeMuffin took. It's actually nuts. Okay, Halbs go down. Hamza can't replace the Halbs, funnily enough. But StrikeMuffin has no way to deal with this Cav Archer army. These Trebs need to unpack. These Trebs need to unpack. Move back, and unpack. Oh my god, the pathing here, bro. If Hamza loses a Treb to that. Alright, here comes a big raid. The Paladin finally found the eco. They do kill a few villagers, but it's honestly not that much. There's 2 castles and 2 TCs here. StrikeMuffin maybe doesn't feel like he can throw away army for free. It's 52 to 80 military. 82 villagers for StrikeMuffin, but, I mean, Hamza's getting there. There was a moment in this game where StrikeMuffin was 82 villagers and Hamza was at, like, 10. So, the ratio has very much gone into Hamza's favor. StrikeMuffin needs onagers, right? He just needs siege onagers. I think that's the only answer to deal with this that the Kumans really have. Hussar! Oof. I hate to say this. I kind of like Hamza's position a little bit here. I could see a world where Hamza wins. The one villager comeback. StrikeMuffin has this army over here, but he doesn't feel like he can commit it underneath all these castles. He has nothing to deal with this army. Another castle's going to go down behind this. The Magyars are a much better Civ long-term, I think. It's weird to say long-term after that opening, but I'm pretty sure I like the Magyars better. 4 SO on the field for StrikeMuffin is all he's been able to get. He has no siege workshops in the back of his base either. So this is the only siege workshop left for Muffin. I can't believe it. Over 100 villagers for StrikeMuffin is nice. This raid is really nice for StrikeMuffin. Ooh, this is really nice, actually. Cav Archer's getting in some raiding damage for Hamza, but splitting up the Cav Archer mass is dangerous. That's a pretty good chunk of the Cav Archer army for Hamza that is dying in the back here. I'm not sure if I would have done that. I know as the Magyars you want to be raiding and using your mobility, but I actually think Hamza needed to play the Death Ball. Okay, sneaky stables over here, I suppose. Trebuchets being caught out. Where are the Cav Archers? Where are the Cav Archers? The Cav Archers need to be protecting these Trebs. 3 of them go down for free. Okay, the sneaky forward base has been found out, so one villager might survive, but Hamza's at least aware of that. Magyar Hussar looping around. There are raids to be found in StrikeMuffin's base, but he's got a pretty good army at the front now. Hamza's lost about 20 cav archers throughout these fights. Maybe we can just force the issue here. Underneath the castle, we're diving on the Trebs. Is that good? I can't tell anymore. Trading Trebs for military maybe is not so bad for Hamza anymore. I think StrikeMuffin still feels like he must have such an eco advantage that as long as Hamza isn't killing him with a siege, he can play it slow. Don't know if that's true or not. Big raids in the back, and again, StrikeMuffin does not react to this at all. He's lost like 30 villagers to this. He's losing Trebs to this. There's 66 cav archers back on the field for Hamza. He still only has 54 villagers, though. This castle might go down. That would be a big loss for Hamza. People are more interested in sergeants versus cameos. The more important thing here is that I am correct in that sergeants are good against a lot of units. So StrikeMuffin's push has been pushed back. There's no military left. It's all Halb. There are some SO in the queue, and they're getting big shots on the cav archers. That's what we need to see here from StrikeMuffin. That's really what we need to see here from StrikeMuffin. Back down to beneath 50 cav archers. That's a really good Magyar Hussar snipe. How does Hamza... I guess he just expanded out to these wood lines really nicely, right? He hasn't even touched this wood line in the back, which was the only wood line he had for a while. "72 villagers for Hamza is crazy after how this game started, actually. Oh boy. Oh, and the SO goes down for free against the Magyar Hussar. I actually think Hamza's going to win this game, maybe. It's still too early to call it, but he's in a pretty good spot now, I think, against the Cumans. He took so much damage early. Literally, Hamza was moments away from not having any villagers or town centers to produce villagers with. And now StrikeMuffin is making Cuman skirmishers. Oh no. Oh jeez. Not the Cuman skirmishers. Another big fight at the front. SO are killing some cav archers, but I don't know if it's enough. Got rams coming in. I'm not going to say they're full of halb, but there are some halbs inside of them. StrikeMuffin really wants to take this castle out. But there's still 50 cav archers here. Is he going to get this castle? He might get this castle, but what is he going to have left behind it, even if he does? Castle is being repaired. Rams are down. There's nothing... Yeah. Oh, jeez. Raid. Counter raid on the left-hand side for StrikeMuffin. I'm actually going to be sad for StrikeMuffin. In Game 5, to get so close to knocking your opponent out of the game in the first 2 minutes, 5 minutes. I'm going to feel bad if this ends up being a loss. Still has much better map control. This could be a wood game, guys. Hamza's running out of wood. He still kind of has this wood line, and he does still have this one safe in the back if he really needs it, but... He just has such a strong army, it feels like he can push out and take any wood line he wants. Still 5 relics. Yeah. Still 5 relics. Still okay map control. These are really nice raids. These are really nice raids. But yeah, that's the thing, right? 60 Magyar CA. And I don't know what the Kumans have against that. He's got to get a massive SO up, but StrikeMuffin just has not been able to field enough siege onagers. Like, the wood income is not there, right? Taking some more map control, though. There's still... I'm not saying StrikeMuffin's dead, but he wasn't... Okay, this is maybe a good push. Let's see. This might have to be it. The army's coming in. Cav archers are here. Trebs are going to try and sell out on this castle. If this castle goes down, this is a lot of eco from Hamza, wide open. You kind of... Maybe you just have to blitz down the castles. This is really good, actually, for StrikeMuffin. This is really good. Paladin and Hussar killing villagers. Hamza's back down to 65 villagers. The castle will fall. I think this is exactly the push StrikeMuffin needed. He was pushing in from this angle over and over again and really was not gaining ground over there. So I like that he switched it up and came over here. He probably has to back up now, but he killed the castle and a bunch of vills. So that's a successful attack. And we just go home now. Hamza replaces the castle, but like, you can only do that so many times, right? Five relics is huge for StrikeMuffin if this really continues to go long term. Don't know about Step Lancers here. I feel like that's not worth the gold, but I guess you've got lots of gold. Oh, this has officially turned into... I mean, it's not a wood game in that there's no wood left on the map, but it kind of is a wood game in that StrikeMuffin's win condition is denying Hamza wood, I think, from here on out. This castle is huge for Hamza. He's got to lock down this area. This wood is slowly running out. That's really the only wood line. Like, there's not that much wood back here, right? There's like 2k maybe? Maybe 3k? I don't know where Hamza goes after that. That castle's denied for the time being. The issue with Hamza's military is also that he has to be in the same place with the Cav archers, right? He tried to split the Cav archers up earlier, and it led to him losing like 20% of his Cav archers. So he has to keep these together, which means there are plenty of weak points in his eco behind whenever he moves forward. And if he looks away, the Step Lancers show up. That's a really good start to that fight. Now they back up. Just pick away at those Cav archers. You just gotta pick away. You think it's more about stone and food? No, this is a... Hamza runs out of wood before he runs out of anything, I'm pretty sure. I mean, he runs out of food because he runs out of wood. He doesn't have any stone for another castle. Stone is actually a good shout, right? Like I said, forcing him to rebuild this castle is a huge deal because he doesn't have another castle to put down on the next wood line, which he needs. Good raids back here for Hamza, though. Where's all the military for StrikeMuffin? It's chilling here. And it's kind of chilling back here. Okay, Hamza has to buy himself stone for this castle. He really just needs this wood line to be secure. I don't know how much value this army is getting here, though. Let's see. The Cav army is trying to cut off the Cav archers at the pass. And they should get some pretty good hits in here. That's fine. 5 Cav archers down. Hamza is running out of gold as well. He does still have 3,500 in the base, but he's not taking it hugely. Big raids in the back. Castle completes as well. But Cav Archers are dying over here. This wood line is a mess for Hamza. Wow, they survive. I'm shocked. I thought that whole wood line was gone. Another ram push. Another ram push. Hamza is trying to punch down this stable with villagers, which usually is not a good sign for your long-term prospects. Cav archers are nuking down this TC, though. And Hamza has wood control, even has some stone control here. He's slowly carving himself out more and more. Not that. Jeez, these skirmishers, man. Okay, they draw the Hussar back into the castle. So I guess they technically killed it. Trebuchet's here for StrikeMuffin. Does he have the military to protect them, though? The stables are soaking up a lot of arrows. Magyar Hussar can't get in on the Trebs. His castle goes down. It's really bad for Hamza. He can't afford to replace it, and he needs it here. Why doesn't Strike commit to the skirms? I don't think you commit to the skirms here, do you? The Kumans don't get Bracer even. Like, Hamza doesn't Hamza can still produce these Hussar, right? I don't think the skirmishers give you that much, but maybe they do. I don't know. There are skirmishers in here. As long as you have something else to deal with the Hussar so that they can't come in here and kill all your siege. And they kind of came in there and killed all the siege. And Hamza calls it. He's lost too many villagers. He is, I guess, just the raids finally caught up with him. He can't really take any wood lines right now. He really can't take anything, to be honest. He's denied off all of his farms, all of his wood lines. He's got no gold and no stone. Oh, okay. StrikeMuffin does close it out. Oh. That was a sweaty one. That was a sweaty ending to that series. Hamza, that was tremendously well played by Hamza to survive an hour in that game after that start is nuts. But StrikeMuffin had a great opener, really, really good opener, and ended up playing map control at the right time, I think, right? There's a moment in there at the beginning where you have to decide to let your foot off the gas and go long term. I think StrikeMuffin chose a correct time to do that and was eventually able to overcome Hamza with raw economic numbers. I mean, you can, like, res collected over 2 times. Res collected advantage for StrikeMuffin, and it was still that close. Hamza ended this game still with a way better army. He just had no way to actually kill StrikeMuffin from here, I don't think. Oh. Yeah, you almost feel like if you have a really good opener sometimes, I don't know if I want to call it getting complacent, but like you can get into this mindset where you're like, I did so much damage, like there's no way I can lose, right? So you almost, it can be very difficult to then switch your mindset into, okay, now I need to play for this long-term map control sort of game when you feel like you've won off your rush. So really well done by Muffin there, for sure. And yeah, Division 3 is very, very competitive. So winning this set is huge for StrikeMuffin, I think.